Oh god. Aidan, I got out. I don't know where I am specifically, but I escaped that prison, and now I'm on this cliff edge overlooking rice fields below. Or is it cake?
Or is
Who
it
knows?
cake?
Who knows? Anything can be cake.
Oh, does she know?
Oh snap! Darren, what happened to you? You shrunk. Nice. But hey, we're back.
Oh, welcome back to the JAD pod.
That's right.
You gotta
So,
stay. You gotta stay.
Today, I guess you'd call it the ya pod, as the Polish say. Someone says ya.
I feel like a few maybe
Certain languages.
And Northern Europeans they like.
Right.
But maybe the Spanish do that too. Oh no.
No. It's C.
Oh yeah,
Senor.
like soft J's.
Yeah. But specifically JA meaning yes. I think that might be like a Scandinavian thing, a Norwegian thing. Clearly, we're not cultured individuals. All I know is that someone says yes that way.
In Spanish, it would be more like a jalapeno.
Jalapeno. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're looking for a Y. We need a Y, Jay. Yeah.
Yep, you got
Europe, it. You know, except
those Europeans.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, you're technically not a European anymore. You know. True. I guess for two reasons. Well, one, you want to become Canadian. You will be. You're more Canadian than most Canadians, as far as politeness goes.
My European membership away.
Also, your country ripped it away from you.
True.
Because you're technically, Brexit was unfortunately successful. So, parts of Ireland are still part of the EU, but England isn't?
The country of Ireland.
Well, the whole country. I feel like there was a split, like North and South.
Ireland, yes, but Northern Ireland is part of the UK, so they had to do what we did.
So it's
but I'm pretty
South Ireland.
But Southern Ireland, which is considered actual,
it's a free state. Yeah.
It depends what part of Ireland you're in. That could be I could be starting to fight there.
Hey, either way, the reason why we are Ya and not Jad is unfortunately because, Darren, he was shrunk and turned into a dog, and so he's
turned into a chihuahua.
His speech has diminished because of that. So unfortunately, he will not partake in this episode. But that's okay, because I feel like this episode, aside from talking about houses and neighborhoods and fun shenanigans like that, that'll be the first part of this podcast. But the second part, which will be the bulk, is just going to be ripping into
the Halo.
We shouldn't call it Halo. We should give it like a different name, Halo or something.
Definitely shouldn't call it Halo. We should call it
Master Cheeks. Oh no! Even talking about it, it's killed Aidan. He's frozen on us. You're back.
I froze?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, I'm back. It's because we mocked Halo, and they're coming for us.
Yeah, Paramount Plus.
Paramount
for us.
Paramount.
The plus in Paramount Plus is Mercenaries. It's high. It's Murders for Hire. It's like Bad Bath and Beyond, and everyone's like, "What's the Beyond?" It's an interdimensional space or something. And it's like, with Paramount Plus, the plus is the dark web.
Yeah. So Neighbourhood. So 2 weeks ago, me and Dee, we moved into this new place,
Which is amazing. Came with a roommate behind you there, Lo-Fi girl.
She's busy. She's always doing homework.
Yeah.
Really quiet too. Doesn't say a word. So it's still kind of feeling out the neighbors and getting to kind of say, okay, what are those people on that side of the building like? What are people on this side of the building like?
Yeah.
Luckily, the front of the whole street faces a park, so we have absolutely zero neighbors across from us.
It's God, that's amazing.
All the way. And then hooks around the corner, there's a school.
Oh, so you got kids.
So it's like we've got no neighbors on on two parts of the house, but the other two parts of the house, the back and the side, the back and the left side. Left side, I think, is also a rented house like this.
Okay.
And they are younger women. I'm going to say early 20s to mid 20s. Could be wrong.
Probably college kids.
Yeah, that I maybe renting it. And they have like a back deck, and they've got a little gazebo thing up with the fly nets around it, and they're in there every night.
Gazebo gang. Yeah.
Playing music and stuff. Fine, totally fine. It's
not too crazy. Yeah. What kind of music are we talking? Lo-fi? Or are we talking trap house?
Like just popular music. I don't know.
Sure. Top 40. The we're not the same as it was. The new TikTok song, basically.
They were playing Olivia Rodrigo last night. They play music most nights, but then I guess we've noticed that Friday nights, it's the weekend, the music's cranked up full volume.
Uh-oh.
And it's pretty loud, even with the windows closed.
Oh, no, that's a no bueno.
Because it's summer, kind of. It's almost summer. It's pretty much summer.
There's summer weather, yeah.
You don't really want to sleep with the windows closed. You need that breeze coming in. Yeah. So it was really loud last night. They were screaming and when people don't sing along to a song, they just scream it.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So they were just screaming the lyrics to like Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift and whatever else was coming up.
Jeez.
And I'm like, that's not cute. That's.
This is why I don't like girls. I'm not.
But you must know that your singing isn't good. You must know that you're just screaming
lyrics.
No, that's
the magic of alcohol. They don't know. They think they're awesome. Yeah. It's a spell is cast on them.
But I think partly it's just because they're that age where they just feel like that's like their identity and their
anthem.
Their
it's culture of the times, people haven't criticized them enough. They haven't had enough neighbors yell at them to shut up.
Then I didn't hear it, but Dee said that I think it was around 11, he heard somebody yell for them to shut up from
nice. There we go.
For a minute.
Yeah. That's awesome.
God, just as loud.
Oh my God.
So they probably heard it too, and they probably turned it down. They're like, did someone just yell? And then there was nothing.
Whatever. Just, oh my God, that's awesome.
Then I just fell asleep because I was really tired, so I just fell asleep and I don't know what time it ended.
Yeah.
Who knows? But then the bigger news of the street was the house on the back.
Okay.
This was 2 days ago. In the living room. Dee's in the bedroom, which is at the back house. And he comes in and he goes, "There's the apartment at the back's on fire." I'm like, "What?"
Wait, what?
We run to the back, and there's this white smoke pouring out of the building.
Oh my God.
The apartment in the back is a lot like this one, where it's like, it's not a house, it's just like a building made for apartments. Like it's
right,
only
it's
2 stories.
Duplex, a triplex.
Yeah. That one I think is 4 or 5, maybe.
Okay.
And ours is 4. Ours might be 5 as well because it's like an extra house side. So maybe ours is 5 as well. I don't know. Yeah. So we go out and we're looking from our kitchen out the back, and there is this guy who's shirtless. He's only wearing like shorts. Like those shorts you sleep in, kind of like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like they're like basketball shorts, but he's just wearing them to lounge around the house. And
he's not performing any kind of activity.
It's just wearing only those shorts and a red baseball cap, and that's all he's got on.
Jeez, yeah.
He said he came out and he's swearing, "What the fuck happened? Everything's on fire. I just woke up, everything's on fire." And he says he caught him running back in with a bucket of water or something, trying to put the fire.
What? Come on, man.
And he had a cigarette in his mouth the whole time. Cigarette.
I wonder what caused the fire. No one can know. It's a total mystery.
And he's the lower unit, and then one of the people on the upper unit, they've got
you're gonna kill them.
They've got an old school metal fire escape.
Yeah.
She's just stood on the fire escape, just watching as the smoke is rising throughout all the units.
Oh my God.
She's just oh, what's on fire? Oh, and then it's and people are on the phone and stuff. So I'm like, all right, they're calling the
right.
Fire department.
They're friends to bring over buckets of water.
Yeah. But like there was no urgency of the people upstairs. The guy, the shirtless guy, he was like running in and out, like swearing and on the phone, off the phone, throwing water in, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he at least is currently losing his possessions. The other people are just in denial. It's like the fire's coming for you too. It goes up. Watch out.
I'd say within like 5 minutes, they showed up, which is pretty impressive. There was, I think, 2 fire trucks, and then like a smaller, like a van that's like a red van that's like a fire truck or fire
interesting
or something. And then I think there's a police car as well that blocked off the street, and there's an ambulance as well, which I guess is like just in case.
Sure, yeah.
And then so we were just watching all these firefighters get suited up in all the gas masks and the tanks and stuff. And
nice, yeah, yeah.
And this guy, this shirtless guy, he's doing too much to help. Where I'm like,
right, he's actively putting himself in danger and like slowing everyone down.
All right, why are you doing so much? So he's like, okay, guys, come on in. Right, come on in. You can go to the unit through this door and downstairs, or you can go this way and down into the basement, which is where the fire is. I've already cleared everyone out. There's no one in the building. I'm like, you're doing too much, dude. And the whole time he's doing this, the firefighters are like trying to just grab him. I'm like, yep, we got it. Right,
yeah, it's fine. We know how buildings work. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
And it went on for hours.
Hours?
Yeah, like
what happened? Did the whole building go up?
Well, we never saw flames, and it was white smoke. And I always thought
some kind of chemical.
Yeah, because like black smoke is when like stuff's burning, but white smoke I thought was when it was already put out. But the white smoke was just coming out constantly. So
billowing,
I don't know. Yeah. And it was in the basement, and I think the shirtless guy actually knows that he just lives on the ground floor one. So I think he was genuinely sleeping, and then the smoke rose from the basement into his apartment, woke him up, and
admittedly didn't freak out. Yeah.
So I was like, anyway.
Yeah.
And the cigarette didn't help. I'm like, did you fall asleep or let us know? Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, they run the hoses out and they basically flooded the basement with water.
Nice. There we go. Yeah.
They were pumping it through one of the basement windows, and then they were pumping it through the door and just flooding it.
Yeah.
And they evacuated everyone. And then after all that, then they had to start draining the water with a pump. They had to pump all the water back out.
Okay. Reverse.
I was like, oh yeah, they probably have to like do that every single time they put fire out in building. They probably have to drain all the water.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. I never thought about it. I just assumed there'd be a different company that does it.
Yeah.
And then the homeowner takes the bill.
And then they had to spend like an hour checking every single unit over and over again.
Right.
Like
any sinus.
Yeah, or like they had like temperature guns and stuff, and so they have to make sure.
Cool. Okay.
Probably like a set temperature everything has to drop to before they can leave. And they were just like going around all these apartments, opening all the windows and stuff to let us smoke out. And we were watching the whole time, being like, "Wow!" And he was making a joke, like, "What if?" Because some of the people are at work.
Yeah.
And they break down doors into the apartment.
Yeah.
Like, what if you let stuff out?
Oh yeah, just embarrassing things.
Like, what if you just like you were like, I'm just off to work. I'll tidy that stuff up later. Or
oh sure.
And these firefighters was kicking this door down and going in.
They're just having yeah.
And
something could go missing, you know.
Oh, my cocaine and dildos were left out.
Yeah, it's fine. You know, nothing's gonna happen. I'm just going to work. Same days it ever was. Last 20 years of my life, I just go to work, leave all my cocaine and dildos out.
Yeah.
Come back later. Oh my god.
Of like one of the units is a lady, she has dogs. She was home, thankfully. So she just took her dogs out. But it's like, what if you have pets in there and you're at work?
Yeah.
Or you don't or something.
Right, you got a cat.
Wait until the firefighters get there, which takes like 5 to 8 minutes. Then you have to suit up. Because they're only like partially suited up, I guess, in the truck, and then they have to get out and put the actual tank. Which only took a few minutes, but still, it's like if you've got
every second counts.
A cat trapped inside or a dog trapped inside.
Yeah, not being able to
and then they first go to the apartment that's on fire and start putting that one out before even your apartment that might not be on fire, but your dog's trapped in there in the smoke. You know, kind of scary.
Yeah. That is very scary.
So I guess the message is check your smoke alarms and all that jazz. Which, ironically, we were having problems with our smoke alarm at the start of this week.
Oh no.
Ironically, is it ironically? I don't think so. Coincidentally,
Well, it's
the
sure.
apartment next to us catches fire. So it's like,
It's a sign. It's a sign. It's a warning. It's a warning.
yeah,
Yeah, from the Mothman. Super niche reference, but yeah, if you've seen the movie, Mothman predicts prophecies.
Oh yeah. The not the smoke alarm in our unit, but the one like out in the hall for the building.
Yeah.
That one was like beeping all night, the other night.
No. Jeez,
but like it started at like 1 a.m.
Right, yeah.
And then it went through. So like in the morning, text the landlord like, hey, the thing's been beeping. I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh, that's what you said to her over the phone, yeah.
And then she was like, oh yeah, I'll come down in the afternoon. And like it's beeping all day. I'm like, still beeping. So she goes, just hold the reset button and it should stop it beeping. Like, okay. Do that. It did work, but it made an even louder noise as you reset it.
Oh, that way you're really close to it, so it can actually make you go deaf.
Oh god, yeah.
Like if it wasn't loud enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till you're right next to it.
Resetting it just like mutes it for like 6 hours. We figured.
Okay.
So it still works, but like for 6 hours it's muted, and then after 6 hours, beep.
Comes back.
It starts beeping again.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And eventually they came and they replaced the batteries, and then they're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
The next morning, 7 a.m. Beep.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah,
So I'm like, hey, that smoke detector is going up, and he's like, oh, I just came and fixed it yesterday. And we're like, yeah, we know, but it's going off.
I'm telling you, it's bad. Yeah, I'm not relaying you what happened yesterday. I'm telling you right now, it's going up.
We saw you yesterday. We know you did.
Yeah.
So it comes back again. But this time he took the whole thing out and put a brand new one in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then the day after, next door's on fire. So like, okay.
Damn. Wow. There you go. Yeah.
Set of events.
No kidding. Wow. Is there like a large body of water near you guys? Because I know there's a river that runs through.
We're close to the river.
You are close. Okay.
Yeah.
If anything happens, just get a really long hose. You know,
Oh.
siphon the water out of the river.
I think. Yes, right across. Yeah, I can see the nearest hydrant.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice.
Which is St. Catherine's, yellow with a blue top. What color are they now?
Red? Well, red's the classic, but I think that's American. I think it's yellow here.
It's yellow there. Okay.
There was a period in time, and I was feeling like I was in the Twilight Zone, where, I was born and raised in Burlington, was there my whole life. It's when I was still there, but like I was, I don't know, 25, 26 years old. All of the fire hydrants in the whole city were gray. And I'm just driving around and noticing this. I'm like, was that fire hydrant gray? It's like, okay, I guess it's getting repainted or something. And then like another one gray. All of them in the whole city was gray. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, when did this even happen? Like I didn't, I swear that like yesterday they were all the normal color and then now they're gray. And I was like, this is an overnight job just to like psych people out. I'm like, is this like the new color for the city?
Was like an undercoat where they had to paint them grey first, let it dry, and then they could come back and paint them.
Yeah, I'm assuming that that's what it was. Either that or they replaced all the fire hydrants. And so the ones they replaced it with haven't had the paint job
yet. They just put grey, yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it did go back to the normal color, but it was just a really weird kind of trippy experience of like
the Hamilton ones were not yellow though.
They weren't. What do you think they were? Like
I think they were red and blue.
They were red? Okay.
But red and blue.
Red and blue.
So there's one right across from the old house. And I'm trying to picture it, and I'm sure it was red, but with a blue.
That might be an old school thing, because I think in Toronto it's yellow as well. So Hamilton's just kind of out of touch. So it's outdated. It's the old city, So
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Every so often you'll pass like lights that you can tell are really old, and like especially the walk signs. I saw one in like the border of Oakville and Mississauga, where it's just one light. All of the other lights in the surrounding neighborhood are like modern, but then this one, it's like that 1970s kind of like bulb, like bulbing out effect that the old lights used to have. And it's just a super like dim orangey yellow with like the walk sign and then the stop sign, and they're two separate ones instead of the same one.
Right.
I was like, damn, this is old as hell. You could tell this was like back when electricity was invented. Like, I don't know. They just never changed this one single light. They're like, it keeps working, so we don't need to change it.
People like it. They like it's got
it's nostalgic at this point. Yeah. Yeah, it's part of a historical monument now. Yeah. But yeah. Wild, man. Fire and water. It's a good way to get situated. Because how long have you guys been there now?
I think this might be the third week. Yeah. We moved in on the first. What am I about? We moved in at the start of the month.
Oh, right. That's how renting works.
That's how
rent works. Yeah. It starts in the month.
Yeah.
I will say though. Okay. I must have talked about it on the last pod, the apartment that we were checking out, because I know we talked about it off air, but yeah, I can't recall exactly how much I disclosed, but my girlfriend and I were very confident that we'd found a place on the east end of Toronto.
Snitches.
And yeah, that turned out not to be the case. That was a little preemptive of us to say that. We didn't hand the money over, so it wasn't official.
Okay.
So I don't want to say anything this time, other than we've also found a place that we signed a contract for. The only difference, I guess, is that we're specifically hearing from the landlord that they want to accept us, and they are going to accept us. That's a lot more certain than last time, where we weren't hearing from the landlord. But still, haven't signed over the check yet, so don't want to say anything other than that, other than the moving will commence, and in this case, instead of it being the start of a month, it's going to be on the 15th. Very strange, but it does give us 2 whole weeks to move rather than
I have seen that a few times actually, where places are like, it can be the 1st or the 15th kind of thing. So that's nice that they can give you those goalposts. Yeah. And
the downside is like remembering, Will I always remember that? I don't want to be late on rent, but it's like
you can have calendars and notes and lists. I live by scheduling these days. I have
I gotta have a reminder.
A desk,
like
a corkboard, and I have a paper calendar that you can like tear off.
Okay, yeah. Nice.
I have so many stuff on it because
I can only imagine.
That's how I. It's
brush
like
teeth every day. If you don't put it there, forget it.
No, I like the idea of. I started. I guess adapting this lifestyle recently. But I get it was definitely hard being not working for almost 2 years as well. Like it's completely thrown out like a schedule.
Any semblance of a routine. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, when we were children, we had a schedule and it worked fine. Like we woke up at whatever time, 7:30. And we went to school for 8, and we ate breakfast, and we went to school for 8:30. And then we did a lesson of English for an hour. Then we did a lesson of science for an hour. Then we had a recess. Then we had a lesson of PE. And then we had lunch. And then we had a lesson, And I'm like, well, if we do that as kids, and then why do we just stop when we become adults?
Sure. It is a very good structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... And obviously, well, we don't technically stop when we become adults because we just work, but we just work and do just one thing for 8 hours.
Yeah, and there have been studies about the process of doing a task for a long time or having like long work hours or work days, where the stats show that like the work progress gets shorter when people work longer. It's like a slow burnout kind of a thing. Yeah. And that's like it's ubiquitous. Everyone experiences it. It's not like if people are lazy or a specific type of work. It's like no, any type of work. If you do a single thing, even if you're changing it up, the longer you do it, the slower you get. You just experience this natural kind of mini burnout experience, diminishing returns in the business world. So it's like it's actually a business's benefit if you shorten things up or have shorter work days / shorter work weeks. Yeah, it actually does produce better production because people work better if they have more pressures.
Yeah, because if you know, it's like, I've got until the end of the day to finish this thing. Or I've got until the end of the week to finish this.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah. So going back to the apartment, what type of place is the new place?
Oh well, yeah. I don't want to like give myself, too much hope here. I should because it is damn certain. This time around, it is like way more certain than the last time, and the last time I thought was certain. So this one, it's like for sure. But just to, I guess, explain places. I don't know. It's in a residential area, which is similar to the other one, but it's literally a block away from St. Clair, which is like just one of those strips that's like Bloor, where it's just a street full of like small businesses,
Right.
markets, restaurants. It's the vibe of Toronto essentially that people want when they go there. Is like, oh, I want to be able to walk down a street and see 100 different stores.
Yeah, yeah. I think my agent was on St. Clair.
Oh, no kidding.
When I was getting back from work.
Nice.
St. Clair and something. Don't know.
Awesome.
There was a. It was really close to St. Clair subway.
Oh, so Yonge Street, St. Clair.
Oh, okay, St. Clair and Yonge. It must have been that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. We're not too far from that. The weird thing is, we're right now where we are, and the place we'd be going to is basically like 3 kilometers away. Like we're not going that far. We're literally just going south. You know.
Yeah. Well, it makes it easier.
Exactly. That's what I said. I'm like, man, because U-Haul charges based on kilometers, right? That's like part of it. It's like, oh, it's $20 is like the initial fee, but then it's based on kilometers.
Yeah. That's
like
our move a nightmare.
Oh no! Just because
that's why it took 4 days to move a small apartment's worth of stuff into a small apartment. It took 4 days because of the journey, like the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like trying to get the U-Haul and then realizing that because we were moving from one city to a different city, that adds the price on, and then it's like, and then you have to return it, and then they count the returning distance as well and things like that. But maybe you can drop it off at a U-Haul here instead. But then it's like, but Dee's dad was coming with us to help us, so it's like, well, he would still have to go back, and take it back with him. But then it's like, but then you're getting charged for those kilometers back, even though it's an empty van. And
well, I mean, listen, it's a business model that works for them, and like, it's not like there's a better alternative. All of the other ones, Enterprise, Discount, they're all.
Yeah, Enterprise. We looked at Home Depot because they have vans. Okay. Same scenario. It's like, yeah, we just charge you for the kilometers, and we charge you the distance from the depot to your house.
Yeah.
Even though, you're just driving an empty van from the depot to your house, you haven't even started packing it. You're still going to charge you for that bit too, and then, yeah.
Why?
At least you're nice and close, and yeah, hopefully you can do it all in one trip, which would be nice.
Yeah. But other than that, like, it's the price is like a little bit higher, but it's bigger, sound way less because it's the people who own it live upstairs.
Oh,
like an old couple.
Yeah.
And they would go to sleep on the second floor, so it's like, even if they're loud and making a ruckus and like doing what our current upstairs neighbors do every night, it's like they would be doing it 2 stores away, so we wouldn't have to worry about all that noise.
Yeah.
Because that is, at this point, that is the number one reason why we're heading out, is because of the psychological torture that comes from our current upstairs neighbors.
Yikes.
But so I was curious, because I feel like I cut you off. What specific daily schedule thing did you set up for yourself? You began down that journey, but I'm curious how you implement it.
With the weather being so nice, and with us being in this new area, I'm like, I just, part of my daily routine. I didn't do it today though, because for some reason I was just really tired.
So maybe you got sunbaked. Who knows?
Oh yeah, maybe.
That happened to me yesterday. I literally passed out early because I think I was just like through heat exhaustion or something.
Yeah, last night was somehow hotter than yesterday daytime. Like it got hotter in the.
Yeah. I woke up at like 5 a.m. from the heat. It was weird.
Yeah. I think that's probably why we both had a rough night's sleep as well, because very, very warm. We had all the windows open. I think that was like more heat.
Not in the basement anymore,
No. So yeah, I've been trying to wake up around 7:38. In fact, I think I'd say it's 7:30 every day, because I think like the sun coming in and stuff, it's just been waking me up. And I'll take Bamboo for a walk.
Yeah.
And then sometimes
still screaming at squirrels, or no?
Still screaming.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. She's screaming.
Like a. Yeah.
And then we'll either go for a long one or a short one, and I'll bring him back, and then I'll go for a long one.
Oh snap!
Or I'll take for a quick one, then we'll come back, and then all of us will go for a long one.
That's wild. Yeah.
Every morning, all three of us, or most days, all three of us are getting like a good. We're aiming for 5 kilometers.
Oh, every day. Wild. I mean, that's yeah. It's not like you're sweating. You're just going for a walk. I mean, you could still sweat.
Well, in this heat, yeah.
Because what is that? Like 10,000 steps or more? That's 5K. I think that's 10,000 steps.
Yeah, I think that's like what they say is like the daily.
That's the day. Yeah. That's literally like you do the whole day in the morning. So now you can just lie down for the rest of the day.
Yeah. So we're trying to do it in the morning because it's cooler. But sometimes we've been going for walks in the evening because it's cooler. It's more cooler in the evening, but not last night because last night was hot. So I know at some point in the day, all three of us try and get out walking. But regardless, first thing in the morning, Bamboo gets taken out anyway, so she'll get that. So that's my day started. I could go outside, the air hits me, take her out. The screaming wakes me up.
Yeah. Looks like coffee. Yeah.
And then come back, and then if I'm not too sweaty, I'll just have my breakfast, and then I sit here.
Nice.
And then it's like I'll do like an hour or two of my drawings, and then like maybe then I'll do an hour or two on my a writing project or something, and that'll become my day, and then 12 o'clock break for lunch for an hour, and then I come back, and then usually my day ends at 3.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
At 3 o'clock, and then usually Dee does around the same stuff, so he'll usually be doing his stuff in like either the bedroom or the gaming room. Spare room. Your future guest room.
Yeah, the gaming room sounds like a great place to be. I'll spend I'll sleep over, not sleep.
So he'll usually come into the living room around 3 as well. So that's kind of usually our time where we'll both cut off, and then we'll watch a bit of TV together, and then we'll start planning. Okay, what we're gonna have for dinner. Have dinner, and then then we might be like, okay, let's go for another walk because it's got cooler again outside. And then we don't like to put movies on if it's not dark. Are you like this?
Yeah, no, I'm like that too. Like we'll do specific movies in the morning. If it's Saturday morning or Sunday morning, we might watch, I don't know, 10 Things I Hate About You, or like one of those kind of like movies that are made for the morning kind of a thing. Yeah, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. We haven't done that, but that's an example of something that's a morning movie. Yeah.
We haven't watched Sonic yet. I keep asking you to watch Sonic.
Yeah, I'd say that's a morning movie for sure. Yeah, you can do it at night, but yeah.
So that's kind of our day. Yeah.
Nice. That's not bad. Mine is just nothing. Well, I should say this. I was thinking that I was just gonna take like a mini break. Now the season ended, and my uncle hits me up and like, hey, I was wondering, I heard you're free. If you could help me like install a driveway, and I was like, okay. So I was like, sure. I mean, I'm getting paid, so why not?
Yeah.
So I just kind of did that, and so I was like, I literally just worked all week. What happened to me taking a break? So it's like, no.
When you get used to time off, and you're like, nope.
I want time off. I want it. It's like I said yes to him, but like I didn't realize how long I'd be going. I thought it'd be a day or two, but it was the whole week. But so next week, want to do nothing, and then next Friday, I fly to Atlanta.
Whoa!
I booked a flight. I'm finally doing it after all this talk.
What the hell are you to Atlanta for?
That I met a guy back in 2020, AJ, and he lives in Atlanta.
Shout out AJ.
Shout out to AJ Pharma. Hell yeah, get it. And and then we're just collaborating on scripts and stuff. And so I like the initial plan or the hope was that we'd begin shooting on one of the features that we had written, but because it's all just independently funded and stuff, he was able to do a short back in December of 2020, and then we've been like waiting to try to get it out the door. So it took a long time, but the editing is finally done. So now we're going to try distributing that / using that as like part of the proposal almost, right? To say this is what the visual language is of the things we would produce. So do you want to help fund a feature, that kind of a thing? Yeah. So try to get big wigs involved, fat cats.
Yeah, and are you going to do the old festival route?
Yeah. We're going to try to apply to every festival that exists. TIFF, BC, all the Canadian ones, all the American ones, and stuff. Awesome. So we'll see how it goes, but I was like, no more waiting. It's like, even if it's not hitting
Wow.
off the ground, I'm free right now, so I'm going to do it right now.
Now or never.
So, exactly.
So how long are you going for?
It like over a week, or I guess exactly a week. Friday to I think Friday.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool.
So just the end of May, beginning of June, and then Sam and I are going to a wedding the weekend after, and then if we get the place, we're going to be moving into the new place after then. So yeah, I don't have any time for work. I'm too busy doing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So I need the free time to work.
Flying from Toronto?
Yeah, it's a single flight, no layovers, nothing. So yeah.
Have you seen the horror TikToks of all the lines and stuff there?
No. I'll prepare accordingly because I think it's like a 5 p.m. thing, so I don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. to go.
That's good.
But I can imagine it's busy. Also, there have been many videos of Delta Airlines specifically. I'm pretty sure they were under a lot of heat, however many years ago, for just being like a terrible airline, and that's the one I'm taking. So let's fingers crossed.
I think I flew Delta once.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was that bad.
Okay, so it's probably one of those things where it's like 1 in 1,000. But I guess it happens enough that people hate it. But like
when people are complaining, it's usually who's got the louder voice, right? So if the
it's like
complainants are louder, even though there's only 10 of them, then it just seems
it makes it seem like that's all it is.
Yeah. That's cool. I've never been.
It should be fun.
That would be.
Yeah. Me neither. So
nah.
I don't know what to expect. And the funny thing is, as soon as I land, we're then going on like a 3-hour road trip, like into the boonies, to like a farmland to like shoot like a promotion to like also help like establish the feature we want to make.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back after like a couple days, and then I'll be in Atlanta. So
cool.
See the sights. I feel like Atlanta's known for like having a comedy scene. Obviously, they have like a filming scene there and stuff.
Big Hollywood industry there now. Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia, Georgia, or whatever that studio is. Yeah. So yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what to expect, right? Because we don't really have any plans other than right at the beginning. So the rest of the week, I'll just be writing, and we've never met. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to get murdered by a catfisher. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Is this the last podcast before you leave?
We can do one more. One more. And then I'll die. So that's it.
So do you have anything to say to the listeners, Joe?
Here's what I'll say. If you haven't watched the Halo show, just straight up don't. It doesn't get better.
Halo.
The Prophets were right there. Why the fuck did you shoot at the Prophets? Come on, man. It was a perfect opportunity for Cortana Chief to jump on the throne and just punch Regret to death.
But we don't want to mess up the timeline.
Jesus Christ.
All right, I will say this.
Yeah.
Because of the action scene, and because they actually finally, after 9 episodes, included the Halo music, though the rock remix or whatever, right. I do think that was one of the best episodes.
Sure, but compared to any Halo cutscene, it's like it's comparable to Halo 5. It's like still not the best.
Yeah, that could have been. Yeah, that
could have been so much better.
A cinematic cutscene that was like motion captured or something from one of the games. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. It's because we've said this before. It's not like a new revelation or anything, but the action scenes are good. Like that is the best thing the show has to offer. Is that that's a completely different department than the writing and the acting and everything else. There's a whole team whose only job it is to make good action scenes. Mm-hmm. And so that is the only thing that is excelling in these shows. But it still doesn't make watching the show worth it if you haven't started. It's like the way they took the story, especially right at the end. Chief, is that you? It's like, come the fuck on. That is the goofiest shit. That's not a cliffhanger for a season ender. Like, come on.
And I turned to D at that moment. And I was like, oh, look, Master Chief's finally Master Chief.
He's actually acting like it, but it's only because it's literally not him.
He has a helmet on and he's acting like a robot, a mindless robot. I'm like, finally.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to be. It's great, yeah. But like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think the episode started great. with the like the bit where where Kai chased down Halsey's ship and
that was epic.
Sick.
That was sick.
Up. I was like, they should have been doing shit like that throughout the whole season and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the way you get
the Spartans and their abilities.
She shot the engine open and jumped in and shit.
She's outrunning anytime I've seen them outrunning the warthogs, I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Yeah.
And then as the ship is crashing, and I'm like, they're trying to make us think that Kai's about to die.
Yeah.
I turned to D and I go, D, just so you know, Master Chief in Halo 3 fell from space to Earth and survived. From space.
Also, in the show, he crashed a Banshee into a Phantom and it exploded with him inside it. And he just walked out.
Yeah.
Clearly they're explosion proof.
I didn't know that if they were going to kill Kai or not, because it really looked like they were going to kill her.
They were trying to, yeah.
So, you know, Master Chief fell literally from space onto
the Earth, not even water, just into hard ground.
Creating a crater where he landed, and he survived. But then Kai did survive, so I was like, okay, they got that right. And then the bit where they jump out of the Pelican onto the Covenant planet was cool, because that was like a throwback to Halo 4's like trailer, I think, where all the Spartan like Locke's team, they all jumped out of a
yeah.
Trailer. So okay, cool, that's cool that they did that.
That works in a show.
And then they're on that planet, and I'm like, this is the set from Mortal Kombat, the movie from 1990, whatever.
What, the first? I don't know if I've seen the originals. I feel like I've seen clips. I've seen sections of it.
It's just like, oh, let's just fill a sound stage with red sand.
Yeah.
Screen the sky with like evil sky.
Yeah, that's funny.
And because I couldn't get my head around the planet. Like, is the temple that they're on? Is it floating in the sky? Is it just a tall mountain above the clouds? What is it? What's it look like?
But I guess they were saying it was a mountain. But like, it didn't. It still seemed kind of weird. It seemed like it should have been some tropical island or something. I don't know what it was going for.
Yeah, or jungle would have been fine.
Yeah. Also, there was nothing specific to indicate that they had to go there. I guess that was purely for ceremonial reasons, part of their religion, that they wanted to go to that island. It's not like they took the two keystones and like locked it into a pedestal. No, it was hovering around some of the rocks, but like all you had to do was put them together to make the map appear. Yeah. So it seemed like the planet had nothing to do with it. So it was just for ritual purposes.
Didn't Keyes claim that was the Covenant home world? Because
they were saying it was Covenant occupied space, and they've never known Covenant occupied space yet. They've never figured out where they live. So that's one place that's occupied by them. Gotcha. And I will say that anytime they do any space related stuff in the show, I've really, really appreciated. But it's all short lived. None of it only exists for spectacle. None of it's actually like delved into too much. They've mentioned slip space and how it works, how it's just a black void with like a barrier around the ship to keep it from like imploding in the void. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That's awesome. What an amazing concept. And that, and it at least continues to exist in the books and the games. Like that's just part of the lore of the Halo universe, is slip space. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then when they were going through those gravitational strings or tunnels or whatever that was, and they were getting spaghettified, I was like, this is fucking awesome. Because it's like, yeah, that is a thing. Yeah, it sounds silly, but that's literally a scientific term.
Totally a thing. Yeah. It's given me Interstellar vibes. But I think for the show...
Oh, the story made no sense. Yeah, why didn't Cortana direct it?
The momentum, we already had forward momentum anyway. Yeah. Because it was like, we had that big opening scene, the Halsey was trying to escape, and then, they had to get the key back and stuff. It's like, I just feel like, we don't
this extra scene for tension.
Gotta hold on to the controls and keep it straight and keep it steady.
Shaking.
Who cares? Yeah, you're not gonna rip the Pelican apart, because then everyone would be dead. We know they're gonna make it to the planet. Like,
purely from a concept point, I loved it, but Cortana should have been directing the ship. Even if she started to like lose herself a bit there, she should have been controlling the ship the whole time.
Yeah.
At one point, I think Kai says, we lost artificial gravity, but then she's still walking and like nothing's floating. I'm like, why'd they say that?
But then I was thinking like in the Expanse show on Prime, like they just have grav boots on all the time.
And that is something that exists in Halo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chief has
graphics,
right? Because he walks on the outside of spaceships all the time when he's trying to kill them and stuff.
It's just weird how that line was mentioned, but nothing changed. You didn't even see like objects in the background floating. That was just said, but like, there's literally something indicated a change.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's like, all right, whatever. That's a nitpick, right?
She delivered
that
like really badly as well. She was like, "Oh, we're losing artificial gravity." Like it was said really.
Whoa. Yeah, it was very like 1960s Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, all right. But either way, they made it to that weird place. I liked how light refraction hit it from space. That's cool. But then I was kind of getting Halo Wars vibes from like, oh, the elites here just have like blades or something. Guns did show up like, you know, as it progressed, but like the whole idea of elites just like running and charging to their deaths, it's like not very strategic. Why do you have hundreds of these people hidden in the mountain and not like out? And also, like, the way that they were doing it is just running in an open field towards them. And the Spartans were also just not taking any cover, shooting openly.
Yeah, well, it's like if you're going to go on this mission and you take like fair enough, you're taking the Pelican and stuff. You could have still stocked the Pelican with like you know, some like a mounted gun turret or like, you know, some heavy duty stuff, some drop shields, things like that.
Yeah.
But I get they were trying to be stealthy, right? That's why they
was a stealth mission.
But yeah, like the shot of the CGI elites like running up the mountain was really.
Oh yeah. It was looking like there were zombies from.
And elites running full speed just looks weird to me. Anyway, they've used that a few times in the show. Elites running, and I'm like, that's.
I don't know if that's ever been nailed down because in the games they jut very quickly. They're very serpentine with their movements. You know, they're kind of like a lizard. But we've never just seen an elite run.
Yeah, because they've got like these backward legs, so I don't know if
they can jaunt, I guess. Yeah. But it's just walking quickly. You know, you don't see them gallop necessarily. No. So we don't. It's just the anatomy of it just seems kind of strange. But
yeah, and then I like the stuff where they landed and they were taking out the grunts.
Like, that was classic Halo, bro. Sleeping grunts, taking them out.
Yeah. And it was done brutally as well. Like they ripped the gas mask off one. Like,
I was like, holy shit, dude! Straight up, I do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll kill an elite or not an elite, a grunt, and then while it's dead, still punch its mask and the mask comes off.
Or punch it on its back, and sometimes it would fly off.
Yeah. Right.
So that stuff's great, and that stuff's clearly out of the game. So like, it's just bullshit when the creators are saying like, "Oh, we've not played the game." Like, you have. Stop lying.
No. But I think that was the action people. None of that is like a right. That's all silent action happening. So it's like, okay, the action people played the video games. They were probably furious at the writers.
Yeah.
That's probably why they tried hard to make the action scenes good.
One of the art directors from Bungie that he did 1, 2, 3 and Reach. He worked on.
Yeah.
His statement was, "That's as in the show. That's not the Halo we worked on, or that's not the Halo we created, or something like that."
There you go. Literally, the creators
statement like this isn't what we made. So back to the fight. Yeah. So the grunts, that was great. Most of the action was great. Chief taking on the brutes on his own, awesome. Very choreographed and stuff.
That one, there's a bit of controversy online. There are some people saying that was great, some people saying that was really bad, like CGI or whatever. And I feel like even though you do notice that it's CGI, it doesn't blend as much as some of the other action scenes in earlier in the season. There were literally only like 2 other action scenes, but like the other action scenes we've seen, it blended a bit more, where it's like, you know, what's CGI and what's real. Sometimes it's hard to determine. And this one, it was clearly the whole scene was just CGI, but it's still like the way the camera swiveled and then like went into first person, came out of first person. All of that I thought was great. Like it's about the style. Stylistically, I think it was done really well. So I'm on the camp of I enjoyed that cutscene.
Yeah, it reminded me of like like the Kingsman movie or something, like, you know, that kind of
where it's just a long shot of
we'll pretend it's a one shot, but it's not really a one shot because it's CGI and, like, you know.
Well, I don't know if you can tell, but I've suddenly gotten really dark, and it's because I think the thunderstorm is coming. I was using natural light to light me, but now it's getting dark. So one second, I'm gonna turn the light on. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Okay, I'm back.
Going back to your point about the elites who were just under the mountain and then just come up from the mountain to fight.
Yeah.
Being underwhelming.
The
there's
dwarves.
A mistake that they've made a few times throughout the season in these action scenes with the Covenant, where the Covenant just don't have dropships in this world.
Well, there's no it seems like they're technologically inferior.
Well, no, I think it's just a budget thing, or like an overlook from the production where they're like in the game, we all know that one of those like U-shaped drop ships comes in with like the laser thing in between, right? And then the doors open on the side and they jump out, and it shoots you for a bit as well, and then it flies off.
Yeah,
those come like every 5 minutes in the game and drop off.
And they're great. I love them.
That's what that scene needed. It didn't need them coming up and then Cortana being like, "Oh, they were under the mountain. We didn't know."
Yeah, it should be the spirits were hidden under the clouds of the mountain or something. They were waiting.
Clouds and then come in.
They just rise up and then everyone jumps up. Yeah.
They didn't even need to be hidden. They could just be at an air base somewhere else, and
come in.
Just give them a few minutes to get there because, you know, they weren't expecting to be attacked, and then
once it's detected, they all come over. Yeah.
Because the brutes dropped him from the sky, I think.
Yeah, it's like I guess they were hanging out on top of those pillars, yet unseen,
waiting for them to jump in.
Yeah, they were literally just like just waiting.
Yeah.
Acting as if people.
Oh, and also there was a moment where so all the Spartans are wounded, and Chief's like, they're all getting surrounded, and Chief's like, I don't know what to do, and then he jumps out of the doorway of the temple, and there's the big brute who might be Aatrox, might not be Aatrox.
No. So apparently that was confirmed. At first, it was one of those things where, I forget if it was in the script or during the translation, but it was discovered somewhere, like where it wasn't intentionally supposed to be discovered, but it was like in one of the back files, it said Aatrox as the character name, and then the alien language of whatever Aatrox is saying. So apparently that is Aatrox, and also during this fight scene, the specific injuries he gets are consistent with what Aatrox looks like. It's like he gets Master Chief shoots him like in the cheek or something, and he gets like a split here in his lip, and it's like that's the scar that Aatrox has.
Cool.
Also, the closer looks we got of him, he had like cornrows or something. I was like, are they appropriating a hairstyle onto Aatrox? Because he doesn't have.
And also,
he's got like a dreadlock ponytail and
like alien hands like this. How are they intricately?
I don't know how they could do that with their hair, but you know.
But just for a moment, my fanboy side was thinking, oh, Chief's looking at Aatrox and the grav hammer, and he's going to take the grav hammer. That's what I was getting from that scene. Like he's looking out of the doorway at the incoming elites, and he was looking at Aatrox, who was like taking his sweet ass time to come and, you know, good job he was taking his time to come and kill him, so that John could think about what to do and then allow.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where the show just slows down time, where it's like 3 seconds till the bomb goes off, and then like 3 minutes pass of people like talking. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah. So I was hoping for like a grav hammer moment, but we didn't get it. And then the other thing we didn't get, Joe, is that what we mentioned on episode 1 of our reviews of this show, and then we mentioned it on maybe episode 4 or 5 when Chief has his first vision of the Halo. We were like, we're probably just going to get the tiniest tease of Halo right at the end, but we'll never actually see it. We didn't even see it!
We didn't, yeah!
This episode, it's like, oh, we still don't know where the Halo is.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing. It's like, what's the show called again? What's it called? What's the name of the show?
I'm so upset.
They should have called it anything else. I don't get it. Call it anything else. Call it Master Cheeks. Give the show a different name.
Yeah, they should have just called it like Master Chief or
the new Obi-Wan show coming out, or the Book of Boba Fett, or the Mandalorian. Exactly. It doesn't need Star Wars The Mandalorian, Star Wars Obi-Wan.
No.
Just name it a titular thing. So this one could have been named The Master Chief Story, Master Chief Chronicles.
They could have just called it The Master Chief.
The Master Chief.
Right? And then everyone would be like, did you watch Master Chief at the weekend? Be like, yeah, we watched Master Chief. Right? And then speaking of like waste storylines, so Mackie, she's dead.
They say that, but then it's gonna be some stupid thing where season 2 starts with reconstructive surgery.
You're 100% right. Yeah, she'll have like an alien implant to fix the wound or something, and then she'll be more evil. Didn't care about her. Didn't care that she died. Couldn't give a shit. Then the storyline of finding the Halo of the artifacts. They shut down the artifact before it revealed the Halo. So in a way, that storyline kind of got cut short because it's like we didn't even get to see the Halo there. Come on. And then the biggest one was that they were stringing us along for an entire season with Quan's storyline.
Listen, I'm happy she didn't show up.
2 episodes with Cena.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, I mean, bye, you know. It just sucks that you wasted our time existing in the show at all, but like, bye.
Oh!
You'll come back, and it's the fun, blah, 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 you know. So stupid.
Why not even like if you're gonna I don't care about the storyline at all, but come on, producers, if you're gonna give us it, at least bring her back for the last episode. Like, at least do something with her. But to leave her for 2 episodes. Did I freeze? Joe's frozen. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm going to filibuster because I don't know if Joe can still hear me. So I'm going to just keep talking, listeners. And I'm just going to assume that he's frozen. I don't know if he is on it. And I don't know what to do. So... tell us your thoughts on the Halo show. Oh no! Okay, guys, I just got a message from Joe. The storm has knocked out